many people who would associate a trail rider with having anything to do with a horse event. So it may come as a bit of a surprise to tell you that nearly every single weekend throughout the summer season, trail riders are used all over the country to ride around cross-country courses at equestrian events, collecting the official score sheets.
3, 2, 1, go.
Traditionally, we have always encouraged the Pony Club, and it's great to see children seeing competition and aspiring to compete for themselves. But undeniably, score collecting is a vital part of the competition. It requires determination, it requires them to keep going. Ponies, like children, get tired, they become distracted. And on a long hot day such as we've had this week, it would have been very difficult to keep them going and keep them motivated. We don't seem to have had that trouble with the trail riders. They seem to be able to keep going and have done the job very well for us.
Event riders nowadays want their decisions, the results, a lot quicker than what they used to.
The trail riders are brilliant. They always arrive on time, they do the job we ask them to do, and they're always very pleasant.
They're very good. They do things for the horsey people when the horsey people don't do anything for the trail riders. How's that?
Trail riders don't turn up and then two come at once.
Weren't you doing the cross-country scoring a couple of years ago when one of the motorbike riders came and caught themselves they delivered something to one of the tents or marquees or something and caught themselves up round the road, round the telephone wire?
Well, there's Rocket Ron has a penchant for falling into ditches, I recall. Quite often at Tweedledam. More than once, definitely.
I don't know if I brushed against it or it wasn't put up properly. Just went down with a clatter.
Over the elephant trap, 17.
I didn't tell the wife, I better keep the wife, yeah, it's just like...
Oh no, Ronald, that was careless of you, wasn't it?
And he's not going to tell his missus.
Cable, isn't he? I'm going to phone her up and tell her in a minute.
Glasses by Gucci.
Well, the trail riders drink a lot of tea and coffee and eat donuts. And what else do they do? They collect the scores and they're really good at it. Sometimes they fall off their bikes.
At Gatcombe we had a trail rider fall off. I think he just slipped on a bit of slopey ground and he broke his leg.
At Burnham Beeches 2 weeks ago one went through the string. He said he didn't see it. And then he looked round and he was very embarrassed to see if anybody had noticed that he'd fallen off his bike. And last year one went through the string and it all got wrapped round his chain. So we had to untangle it from that as well.
Oh, Rambo gets lost every time between fences. He doesn't know where he's going.
The trail riders go around and collect the stores, run messages, occasionally run people to the loo. Give us all a laugh now and again with little tales and stories.
As I said before, we pick more up off the ground than we do give them tickets on.
Yeah, the second attempt. Going the alternative route.
220, clear 10, lots of vocal encouragement and clear 11. One thing that the trail riders do seem very bad at is finding neutral on their bikes. They all seem to share that particular lack of skill.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, they all pull up and they're going click, 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 and then you hear a dunk. And you hear them say bugger. And they rattle around with their foot again and then they find it eventually. Come round again, do exactly the same thing. Click, click, dunk, bugger.
Well, another one I remember was at Tweedledam during the era of foot and mouth, when all the cars coming onto the ground and all the lorries all got sprayed by automatic sprays of disinfectant, and this poor trail rider accidentally went through the spray. Ron or somebody, I think, and poor soul got sprayed from head to foot with this foul-smelling disinfectant.
Well, it's taken a long time to get them here for predominantly, I guess, one reason, and that is we're operating here, although very much under the eyes of the Crown Commissioner, the Crown Estates Commissioners and the Deputy Ranger. We never forget that we are, strictly speaking, in Her Majesty's back garden. And if the scores don't come in as promptly as we can get them, then the competition slows down. People can't go home because the results haven't been published. But we're pleased we've been allowed to try it, and I think we can justify for the future the employment of trail riders.
Tell you about the trail riders. They're never here on time. There's one that's always asleep and never gets up until 10:30 in the morning, and then they miss out after fences, and the scorers get uppity about lost sheets. Yes, they all fall off. We've had such a lot of trouble to get certain ones to use helmets, and since they've been using helmets, they've all been falling off. One at Brockenhurst fell off and got wedged underneath the Land Rover, and 4 of us had to lift him out. They do like Margaret's cake.
That's right.
That's it. Because some prat at Pfizer's car park down at Sandwich in Kent, where they make it, decided that that would look better saying Viagra rather than Niagara. But I've no idea who actually did it. But other than that, they're all right and they do a good job.
Had collected the sheep from fence 9, came past us, I raised my hand, Colin jammed on his anchors and took out about 20 to 30 yards of stringing and complete with poles.
They take all these slips from each fence judge, which means riding their bicycles around a course in the woods, down tracks, round corners, collecting all of these, bringing them to us, which involves a pretty extensive scoring system of dressage sheets, show jumping sheets, cross-country scoring, and as you could hear from the commentary, a fairly extensive commentating and knowledge of the horses involved.
They're very good. My God, they whip round quickly, don't they? In their leathers.
Well, last year he was desperately looking for his dog during the competition and after the competition had ended. And in the end, we found that it had gone through the tunnel, searching for food, as it is wont, and it was in the dustbins out the back of the food stalls. And poor Colin was quite upset that he'd lost his dog, but he tried not to show it.
At Hartbury a few years ago, we had a trail rider fall off and hurt himself, and he was in the back of the ambulance, and the ambulance was driving along and he fell out of the ambulance. Beat that one.
I think they should run courses in finding neutral on their bikes, because then they wouldn't spend most of their time being so embarrassed about it.
They're so friendly and cheerful and helpful.
He fell off the bridge at Tweedledown once as well.
The funniest one was
in the water.
I think it was Rocket, and he went over one of those bridges at Tweedledown.
Yeah.
Which is just a plank.
Yeah.
And something happened. I think the bike suddenly came to a grinding halt, and he had nowhere to put his feet.
Plop off into the ditch. It wasn't really funny, to be fair, because I think he did hurt himself a bit.
So it's been a great success. I recognise with my travelling around on various horse trials that they're establishing a very enviable reputation for just this sort of thing. And we're delighted to be working with them. 50 quid now, please.